All right, there we go. There we go. Sometimes you just gotta give it a little time and it'll come on through, you know. All right, man, let's get right into it. Dickie from Horse and Dickie's died at 84. And I wanna just give a little commentary before I read his background into it. I want to give a little commentation before I get into his background. Um, Horse and Dickies came on my radar in 86, 1986, when um, I attended Spingarn High School. When I was a freshman at Spingarn, and you know, you know, this was back in the day when you could leave the campus, the school for lunch, and that was a big deal. That was like your first taste of freedom, in school from a school point of view. Now the kids are locked in the school. If they do go to, any restaurant like Chick-fil-A now or McDonald's, they sneaking off the campus or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not supposed to go outside of, the school walls now because of the danger that lurks outside the school, you know. And, it's danger in school because I remember uh, in the gym one year, a dude shot himself in the arm. The gun, he was playing with the gun and he cocked the damn the trigger, and now you got the hammer that came back or pulled back, and now he wasn't skilled enough to know how to release the pressure of the trigger. And as soon as the trigger hit the primer of the bullet, boom, and he dropped it in the gym, after the bullet discharged and hit him in the arm. It was crazy. Then I'm in the cafeteria over at Phelps. Now that was at Spingarn, the gym action, but over at Phelps, a dude in line, and he's sitting on the side, I think on the heater or something, and he fumbling with his pockets, and I think he had the gun in his waistband. It looked like a 380. It was so small. It might have been either it was a 380. It was small. It was bigger than a Dillinger, but anyway, he dropped it, picked it up like it was nothing, because really people didn't really know what it was because he picked it up so quick. But as I play it back, it was a gun. I'm like, okay. And it was crazy. So I'm thinking, how many people walking around with guns, Mind you, I was at Spingarn in 1986. It was considered the worst school in DC. Now, I had no problems, no encounters, because why? I stayed away from the drama, the people, and where the drama was. As far as people just want to be where drama at. So if you about drama, you're drawn to it. You know what I'm saying? Me and my circle of friends, we went to class, and we were where we were supposed to be. Now, we always was at dogs that used to be a pool hall across the street and the little curry out that was next to it. That's where we went and got breakfast sandwiches and stuff in the morning. And we in there playing pool. Dog had naked pictures all around the spot. He was a pervert. But a game was 25 cent, and all the players, and the hustlers used to hang out in there. So I kind of was, but I wasn't around the drama. It was just me doing what I do. I love to play pool, so we in there playing pool. We go to breakfast. I mean, it was like kind of the hangout, but within the school, you being around certain crowds again. You know, we used to shoot dice, and so it was like you just need to know where you needed to be and then know where not to be. Then I was an athlete. I played football for Spingarn. So, and like I said, um, I was from different demographics of DC. I'm from the south side of DC by the Marine Birds and the Navy Yard, Southeast, Capers, Ellen Wilson, Arthur Caper, so but I'm over there by Easton and Spingarn going to school on that side of town because my cousin went there, Mickey. I went, following her to Spingarn because I got used to going to a school not in my neighborhood because my father started that. He took me and my sister out of our neighborhood school. We went to school near my grandmother. So that kind of stayed with me. But with that, I tell people that broadened my social experiences and my encounters and my relationships. So to this day, especially back then, I could go anywhere in DC and I would know somebody. And, I was very popular because of that, because I went to school in Southwest. I went to school in Northeast. I'm from Southeast. I lived on the South Side where Anacostia was at, as far as Parkland. Went to Malcolm X as a kid, even though I don't remember that, but my mother said I did because we lived over there. Um, I lived over in Parkland up to 5 years old, and then we moved over to Arthur Capers. And then I was between Arthur Capers and Ellen Wilson, which we call 7th Street, because that's the street that Ellen Wilson was on, the beginning of it. And then one of my homeboys moved up 1000, and then he hung in Potomac Garden. So to go see him in 1000, then now we're hanging in Potomac Garden. So it was just an experience. And then when I graduated high school, my first place was a house with two roommates, which was June and Lamont. We all moved out together at the same time. We leased a house uptown on Kennedy Street, Fifth and Kennedy, and so I lived uptown, and I worked over there by Montana off of Rhode Island Avenue. So I used to hear about Sean Branch on a regular over there by Montana. Even before I met my boy Camise, I was hearing stories about Sean Branch. So on that end of town, so it was crazy. Uh, so I just say I came into contact with Horace and Dickie's when I used to go to Spingarn, because I used to catch the bus from the Navy Yard all the way down to 8th and H. And 8th and H back then was a park right there where we caught the bus at to go to Spingarn. And my cousin Mickey lived on 12th Street, where, like, at the opposite end. Horace and Dickie's here, she lived at the opposite end. So, that's when Horace and Dickie's came on my radar because people would leave school at lunchtime and go get Horace and Dickie's fish, and they'll come back in the cafeteria with these big old, man. They didn't look that money that you paid for that sandwich or the platter. They gave you hella fish. A sandwich was enough for 3 sandwiches. If you had different, like if you had 6 slices of bread, you could probably get 2 pieces on each bread. So that's how much fish that they used to give you. And it'd be good. The seasoning was all, man, oh my God. So Horse and Dickie's was a staple, and it's truly a landmark. And I think like I want to say late '90s or early 2000, he started branching out. I know he had a spot up Tacoma Station. The recent spot is, I want to say, Martin Luther King Highway, and then he have a spot in Allentown Road, where I frequent on the Maryland side, because they closed the original joint in DC now because all the customers keep getting tickets because of the way they done restructured, the whole Eighth and H now is being gentrified, and they got parking meters everywhere, so you can't even just run in there and get a fish sandwich because Horse and Dickie line be outside by the curb. So while you in there trying to get a fish and standing in line, and that was the reason why he started branching out, because the customers ain't coming because they getting tickets. The meter maids out there and even the police out there writing tickets. So to me, I think that was calculated to get him out that spot, because now it's a hookah lounge that's right there on the end of that corner. And I think they bought this space because they're gonna knock in the wall and expand their little club into his space that's right there. So, or use it as storage or something. So who knows? Maybe that owner calculated that to get him out that space. You know what I'm saying? And people was like, man, I love you, but I ain't coming up in here no more if I gotta, be at the expense of paying a $50 ticket, So it was crazy. I got the Washington, football team drip on. I'm coming down to the countdown of my gear. The Super Bowl is tomorrow, and I hate messing with this camera. I'm sorry, y'all, but you know, it's becoming my thing now. I heard somebody describing my podcast like uh the dude Streets Finest. He always messing with his camera. He need to get a new damn camera. you know. So, you know, uh 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 because people talking about it now, that just make me want to keep it. I had already had that on my mind to invest in a new camera, but I don't mind messing with it, until I get it what it need to be. But down the line, I will. Um, so let's get some visuals on Mr. Dickie, and I don't know if Horace is alive, and that's another thing. We used to say horse and Dickie, like a riding horse. So yeah, we was crazy with it. So with that say, founder of DC area's Horse and Dickie's seafood dies at 84. And here's some visuals of my man. And I'm assuming that's his wife. And yeah, 84 years old, you know. Look, they got the minks on, flexing on us like that. You know what I'm saying? Old player from back in the day. But let me pull up what I found on Google, like some commentary about him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so this is a nice visual of him. The founder of iconic DC carryout seafood institution, Horace and Dickie's, has died. Richard Dickie Shannon was 84 years old. And that's a picture of Horace and Dickie's right there. It's a little hole in the wall spot. But did major business. And like I said, I don't know when he opened up, but I go back with Horace and Dickie since 1986. So you do the math. So let's get into it. Richard Dickie Shannon, the founder of DC's Carryout Seafood Institution, Horace and Dickie's, died Sunday of COVID-19. Wow. Complications, according to WUSA 9, Channel 9. He was 84 years old. Shannon opened the first Horace and Dickie's in Northeast DC in 1990 in a pint size. But that's wrong. That's wrong. That's a typo. It might have been 80. I've been going to Horace and Dickie's since 86. So it might have been 1980. That's wrong right there. You know what I'm saying? A pint-sized blue and white building of 8th Street that was only big enough to handle carryout. Lines stretched out the doors during lunch hours, and people gladly waited for styrofoam box stuffed with cornmeal crusted fried whiting for only and around $15. All right, that's a platter. You could have got a sandwich for like $5, $6. You know, you get your potato salad or coleslaw or something like that. So yeah, you know, yeah, but that's wrong. They talking about 1990. You know, I've been going to Horace and Dickie since 86. So that's a lie. Well, I ain't gonna say they lying. It's a typo because I'm telling you physically, I've been there since 86. In 2018, Washington Post credited Horace and Dickie's with serving one of the 24 dishes that shape how DC eats. While trendier restaurants adopt chicken and waffles and kale, whiting remains the domain of establishment owned and frequented by African Americans. It's an old DC staple and so much newness, the report said. Eater DC documented the bustling scene at the Carryout with a Photo series in 2015. So basically, Horace and Dickie's is on the same level of Ben's Chili Bowl on U Street. So on 8th Street, honestly, everywhere in DC, it was a little spot that, you know, somebody started that really put some years in. But to stand the test of time from the 80s to now, Horace and Dickie's and Ben's Chili Bowl, uh, 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 you know, Lee's flower shop. And in my last video that I was talking about Lee's flower shop, I kept saying Lee's barber shop. There is and was a Lee's barber shop. Actually, my nephew's uncle is Lee. And what's so unique about this shop, it was black owned, like a lot of the barber shops are in DC. That's black owned. Um, this barber shop sat at the corner of Holy Cross, right adjacent from it, and was down the street from Easton. So my man, it was a brilliant location because you put a barber shop near the high school. So every day the man cheers and shop was full because fellas was coming in there getting their fresh cuts. And uh in my nephew family, the Bynums, in my nephew father family, the Bynums, they all the males, all the young dudes, the sons, the nephews, all of them cut hair. And once they got their license, their barbering license, their uncle, Mr. Lee, gave them a job. You know what I'm saying? So it's funny that I thought that my nephews was going to be barbers, but they didn't. And not only that, they wear dreads. They never had their hair cut, and they in their 20s. So it was funny. It's funny when you think about it because their family owned a barbershop, a couple of barbershops. Their father family, where their father uncle owned a couple of barbershops. I think he's now on Marlboro Pike at the end, right there where the Jamaican food carry out is at, right there by where it's a church that sit on that corner. It's Marlboro Pike. Going into DC near Fairfax Village. If you come that way, if you from DC, you know the landmark. So I'm gonna say by the shoppers coming from Benning Road up the hill, and you make the right to go to shoppers, and you can either cross over Marlboro Pike from Benning Road to get to Southern Avenue, or you can make that right like you going to Fairfax Village. And I think the New Lee Barbershop is on the left-hand side by the Jamaican Curryout. So, yeah. So that's where my man shop is. The Bynum's family barbershop, and Mr. Lee owned that shop. And I remember when my sister got pregnant, with Tamonte Chambers, my nephew, we call him Tate. And Mr. Lee came to the house to look at Tate, and to see, his dad, Lionel, brought his uncle to the house when my sister, Tamika, had Tay, we call him Tay, and I named Tay too, because my sister, all her kids' names they start with T, so everybody is TC. Tamani Chambers, Tamika, Tamia, Tamonte. Now we have Tamari Jr. So yeah, so that's the legacy that my sister has left. But it was crazy. So Mr. Lee come to the barbershop. I mean, he come over to my mom's house and look at Tay, and he give the nod to Lionel, say, yeah, that's your child. That was before people was doing blood tests. The family know. The family know if that's their kin or not. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, yeah, this your son. Of course it is. You know what I'm saying? So it was crazy. But so yeah, man. Yeah, they got it wrong on this though. But let's keep reading. By 2020, the newest one, as Shannon closed the 8th Street Fried Fish Institution after a 3-decade run saying that his landlord pressured him to leave his spot in a gentrifying neighborhood that was rapidly filling up with high rises and higher rent. Trending restaurants, he called it cultural genocide. I said that. I said that. Look at that nice golden brown fish right there. Yeah. Like I said, they gave you, when you got a sandwich on two pieces of bread, if you ask for four more slices of bread, you could get two pieces of fish on like six slices of bread. So that was three sandwiches. You know, you put the little tartar sauce on that junk, man. Stop playing with me, yo. In December, a tiny late night Mexican street food stand called Chiqueria Al Lado 2 announced plans to move into the former Horace and Dickie space by this spring. Okay, so a Mexican food little spot, Chiqueria Al Lado 2. Okay, my Mexican is bad. Okay, the Shannon family still operates branches of seafood restaurant in Camp Springs, Tacoma Park, and Glenarden and Waldorf. Okay, I ain't know they had one in Waldorf. To tribute to Mr. Dickie, as he was known by his customers, will be on display at his restaurants at 5601 Allentown Road in Suitland, Maryland. A funeral will be held on February 17th at 11 a.m. at Ebenezer Church in Suitland, with the viewing beginning at 10 o'clock, according to Channel 9. Closing of the iconic fish restaurant is part of cultural genocide. Owner of iconic DC carryout restaurant Horace and Dickie passed away, and a tiny taqueria calls dibs on Horace and Dickie's former Northeast digs. Scott Bennett, Adams Morgan legend, Amsterdam follow. What's that? Follow failed shop founder dies at 70. Okay, they was just giving some highlights on that. So how one of the world's best Panama is, man. Okay, all right. Yeah. So there you have it. 3 decades of serving the best fish sandwiches in DC, and that man from that little tiny spot on 8th Street in 30 years managed to create four full-blown restaurants. You know what I'm saying? Glenarden, Tacoma, Suitland, and one in Waldorf. So you know what you need to do in honor of Horace and Dickie. So they didn't say nothing about Horace. So who is Horace? So next time I go, and matter of fact, I might go get some fish for lunch today, and I need to find out who is Horace. You know what I'm saying? And I want to know if it was a brother or cousin, or was that his dad or what? You know what I'm saying? I'm curious. So I need to find that out. And I'm gonna see if they allow me to record them, whoever answered that question. And I'll use it in my next video. But thank you for all the great fish over the years. And I remember I've been married twice, and I made my point to get over there to get some of the fish and turn my wives on to the staple, the best seafood sandwiches or fish sandwiches in DC. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm going to tell you something good. My wife is from Harlem, New York, my current wife. So she loves some good fried fish. And, you know, like when I first started taking her there, and I'm going to say 2 years straight, we was there every Friday night, you know what I'm saying, to get some fish. And cause we would go out on a regular. So I'm talking like 2014, when no 2012, when me and her started dating. You know what I'm saying? And so when we would go out and coming home, we would stop past Horace and Dickie's and get fish sandwiches, and you know, we licking our fingers in the car. We wouldn't even wait to get home. We would eat right there in the car. Cause that's how that was, you know. You know, it when it's not good when you get it home and it's cold, you gotta reheat it. No, you gotta eat it right then and there, you know. So God bless you. Thank you for uh, the great fish sandwiches over the years. And rest in heaven, Richard Dickie Shannon dies at 84 years old. Rest in heaven. Peace. This street's finest, this Big Dave. Like, share, subscribe, and go get you some fish, man. Go hit one of them establishments and pay Mr. Dickie some respect for the years of the good food he been serving in the community. All right, in the community. All right, I'm out. I gotta go get my niece, and you know, it's Valentine's Day weekend. It's Super Bowl weekend. Uh, her daughter dad birthday is next week, so we taking her and my niece daughter to the my great niece to go you know, to the grave site, pay respects, and you know, so that's what it is. It's a big weekend. It's nice outside. Get outside, go get you some fish from Horse and Dickies, and have a good day. And who you got in the Super Bowl? I'm gonna rock with the Rams. You know, Sean McVay used to be our offensive coordinator, and I think, you know, it's only right to rock with him because he used to be one of our own in that burgundy and gold. So that's what it is. All right, I'm out. Peace.